Classroom the Elite is the ultimate high school underdog story. In this cutthroat high school academy, meritocracy is deemed superior. People's worth are judged by their abilities, and those who cannot achieve results are labeled worthless. Ranking from Class A to Class D, those who have been placed in Class D are considered the worst performers. But while society views these individuals as washed out losers, without a doubt, it is possible for these failures to rise to the top, to achieve a spot as one of the elite. Hi, my name is August, and welcome to a Classroom the Elite analysis video of the first volume/arc in the series. This is the ultimate underdog story of a failed class and their rise to the top. Classroom the Elite begins with a cryptic question. Are human beings truly equal? We follow our seemingly average main character, Kiyotaka Ayanokoji, as he answers said question. Equality may be a false concept, but our inequality remains a difficult thing to accept. As humans, we are considered equal at birth. However, gaps begin to appear the more we age. From differences in education, life experiences, physical and mental traits, all of these are individual characteristics that define us uniquely. But as a result, not everybody is the same. A gifted and knowledgeable student would outperform a talentless, less educated one if both took the same academic exam. And in this merciless, seemingly utopia-like high school, poor performers are left behind, as Ayanokoji will find out as he enters the school unknowingly. For a government-funded high school that gives 100,000 points each month to each student, where 1 point is equivalent to 1 yen, it really is a unique place. Ayanokoji's classmates are excited about their big allowance and thus live their lives lavishly, spending their money and doing whatever they please. Despite being a closed-off campus, there are many entertainment facilities, a karaoke spot, a theater, a cafe, a clothing store, and more. It's a wonderful place to be for a high school student. His classmates ignore the teacher's lessons, spend time on their phones, goof off in class, and even skip school. However, as they soon come to realize, not everything is as it appears to be, as these monthly points are awarded off of academic merits. 98 absences and late arrivals, 391 counts of cell phone usages in class, and 7 failing students. Ayanokoji's class is deemed the worst performing class in their year, with a collective total of 0 class points, marking them as Class D. The number of class points dictates how many personal points each student gets per month, and with 0 class points means that everybody in Class D will not receive any money for the month. Shocked by this new information, everyone attempts to change their behavior, but while the absences and late arrivals are easy to fix, what about the potentially failing students? With the midterm exams coming up and failing the exam leading to expulsion, the least intelligent students are the most at risk. And so people start creating study groups. Hirata Yosuke, the most charismatic guy in the class, leads everybody and offers his assistance. A large majority are receptive to his help, including most of the females. However, the class-proclaimed idiot trio refuses his help and plans to cram the night before. This method, of course, has an incredibly high probability of resulting in them flunking out of school. These 3 are problem children of the class, the most offending individual being Pseudo, a loudmouth, reckless, hot-headed individual that refuses help from anybody. If Pseudo continues his behavior, all he will do is make the class lose more points. There is a way to prevent this. All they have to do is let Pseudo flunk. But is that really okay? In a cutthroat world, only the smart and strong survive. Poor performers will drag everybody else down. Failures should drop out. That is the belief of the highly intelligent Suzune Horikita. Horikita arrogantly believes that everybody else is a burden. She refuses to communicate with anyone and largely keeps to herself. And she, like many others in the class, is on board with giving up on any efforts to save Pseudo. However, who decided that smart people are categorically superior? Success isn't determined by brain smarts alone. A person could have a collective of different skills that allow them to succeed. If you severely lacked in one skill and were tested against that, you couldn't be called superior. Someone highly intelligent could easily fail a physical exam if they weren't able. To turn the tables against Horikita, she adamantly refuses to get to know her classmates, and when she does talk to them, she acts condescending towards them. In a way, Horikita is exactly the same as Pseudo, a problem child. The former just won't admit it. If there was an exam that tested team cooperation, Horikita will face difficulties, and this is exactly what happens later on in the series, as she finds out in the worst way possible. So let's reevaluate Pseudo again. Pseudo, despite being a reckless, hot-headed individual who puts little efforts into his academic studies, is actually a very skilled basketball player. With a dream to make it big, he puts all of his time into practice. As a result, his athletic ability is unquestionably one of the best in the whole school. He does have the drive. It's that he chooses to put that into basketball. Imagine if he were to completely focus his energy on his studies. Sure, the information motivation might not come as easily and as faster as other people, but if he keeps at it, he can achieve the same results. Time plus effort plus drive equals positive results, and those results are made apparent by most of his passing grades at the end of the arc. And most of all, even if academic abilities aren't Pseudo's strong suit, his athletic abilities help round him out as an individual, being both beneficial to himself and the class. So is he truly a failure? This not only applies to Pseudo. Everybody we meet in Class D has skills and talents they excel at. Hirata is a naturally charismatic individual. Taking charge as the mediator for Class D, he's able to rally everybody through his natural likability and openness. When everybody was stunned at the sudden revelation, he was the one to take charge of their situation. Kushida Kikyo is an extremely sociable person. Within a couple of days, she has made friends with almost every single person in Class D and has gotten along with her other classmates in the school. And despite having a hidden side to her, she can be considered a firm representative of the Class D girls. Even Ayano, despite being seemingly average and unassuming, has skills in his cunning and creativity by the final act he does at the end of this arc. These are all abilities that Horikita severely lacks, as shown by her prideful arrogance and unapproachable demeanor. Society values these traits too, not just intellectual ability alone. So even if somebody is being left behind, shouldn't you at least make an attempt to reach out and save them? Most people would abandon those lacking, but what would our society be if we continually cut out the lacking person more and more? You don't know. Maybe the most unlikely person might end up becoming useful in the future, especially considering that the direct approach isn't the only method you can use to succeed, which brings up the main turnabout of this volume/arc. Points are the most crucial resource in this school. With enough points, you can use them in a variety of different ways, and it's Ayano that realizes that hidden truth. Ayano tracks down a Class D student from a higher grade and offers to exchange points in order to buy old test answers from him. He's successful, and the old test answers are used to help the rest of the class study for the midterm, but that's not enough. In a last-ditch effort, Ayano and Horikita make an offer to their homeroom teacher, Chabashira Sae, to buy 1 test point to add to Pseudo's test score to make him pass. The price is hefty, but the two are able to successfully prevent Pseudo's expulsion. If these personal points can be used to buy test points, then what else could they be used for? As long as it's permitted and you have enough points, anything could be possible. Now, if individual merits or monetary value aren't enough, why not work together and team up? Everyone in Class D collaborates together to pass their exam, creating study groups, spreading helpful information, and passing out study material. Additionally, in a very unexpected way to help out Pseudo, Horikita deliberately gets a low score on her English exam to help lower the class average for passing, in addition to offering her personal points. Even if Pseudo isn't capable yet, he's been given a chance by his fellow companions to stand in this world. Through cunning, tactics, and cooperation, the goal can be achieved. Let's go back to the main question asked at the beginning of this video. Are human beings truly equal? No, people aren't equal, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't strive for equality. Class D might be a group of defected students, but with enough time and effort, they can become exceptional. Class Me Elite's first volume/arc presents a story where while the world labels those less superior as worthless, even the worst failures can still rise to the challenge to achieve a spot as one of the elite.